I forgot to remove my jacket. As usual, I was so excited about interviewing my good old friend Aden Duale, known him for the last 15 years, since he was a member of parliament for Dujis. Nakumbuka, 2007. Dujis. And then 2013.
Garissa Township.
Garissa Township, that's right. Under ODM.
No, Dujis was under ODM.
ODM.
2013 was under URP.
URP.
Then 17 Jubilee. And 2022 UDA.
Hey.
Then a proper pastorist, a nomad, political nomad.
Political nomad.
But the good thing of that constituency, it tells you that they were electing the individual, not the party.
Right. Yeah. It's the individual.
Yes.
But tell me something, Waziri, what did you lose to get into this position? What have you lost? Have you lost that touch with your people? Have you lost that connection?
No, in fact, I have lost parliament. My colleagues, the staff of parliament, you know, people I have, particularly when I was the leader of majority.
Yeah.
You know, parliament has, if you ask me, the Kenyan parliament has, particularly the National Assembly, has one of the best brains in the country, whether it is the legal directorate, whether it is the budget office, whether it is the legislative guy, folks who work there. Yeah. So, you know, it's like, I lived there for 15 years, 8 years I was the leader of majority and a ranking member. So I lost many, many friends I've made in the legislature, not only in Kenya, even across, because I had friends in the U.S. Congress, in the Senate, you know. And above all, again, I've lost my constituents, you know. I used to go there every fortnight. Yeah. But for my voters in Garissa Township, I'll still be going.
What do they think of your new position?
They are not happy. Majority are not happy. Even today I was in Jamia Mosque and the sheikhs were telling me, now, you know, we are going to miss you. You did very well in parliament as a voice of the community and many Kenyans. But I tell them still, now we are amending the standing order. Ministers will go back to the house to answer questions. So I'll still have an opportunity to appear before committees. Yeah. I appeared before the Defense Committee to go and defend why we are going to DRC. But I've missed parliament.
You have, huh?
Yeah. You know, the chamber of parliament where I stayed for 15 years. Yeah. That is where you have the premium time. Many members of parliament don't use that platform. It's the best platform. It's a platform where you have freedom of speech, freedom of thought. And then it gave me the culture of reading. I used to read bills. I used to analyze, to look at the budget. Yeah. So soon I'm launching my book.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. After I left the leader of majority, I had free time. So those 2 years, I put something.
Oh, what's the title?
The title of that book is a very controversial title, For the Record.
Nice.
Yes, For the Record.
For the record.
Then the politics of deceit and Jubilee decade in power.
Wow.
Yeah.
When is it out?
I finished. I'm waiting for my boss to give me time. He's almost done the forward. Oh. So I'm sending to the publisher anytime, once I get a day in his diary.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for him to establish government, maybe somewhere next year, around April.
For the record.
For the record.
Can't wait. Listen, Waziri, DOD doesn't like to reveal things. You know that. They're very secretive. How have they made you settle in?
No, DOD is not very secretive. Everything in DOD is public. We are sending our troops to Congo. They were flagged off by the commander-in-chief. As per the Constitution, I went and defended before the House. Asked for approval. The House, in its wisdom, approved it. The budget of the defense goes through like any other ministry. Of course, there are certain things that are confidential, are classified. And it's not only within the Kenya Defense Forces, it's in all defenses, even the U.S. defense, the Pentagon. And this is because, you know, you don't want to, expose everything, to the enemy. 2, we have got competing interests within the region and globally. We want to posture our defense forces as the best in the region. We want to be the anchor state. So there are certain aspects, and not only defense, even in interior. And that's why you only have 3 ministers who are members of the National Security Council. Minister for Foreign Affairs, Minister for Interior, and Minister for Defense.
Tell me something. Why Congo? Why now?
We are in Congo not as Kenya Defense Forces. We are in Congo as the East Africa Community Force, regional force. It's called East Africa Regional Force. This force was established, I think, 5 years ago. But why Congo? There were a number of meetings that culminated to us going to Congo. And for record, we are not the only ones going to Congo. We are contributing 1 battalion. Uganda is contributing 2 battalions. Burundi is contributing 2 battalions. And Rwanda is contributing 2 battalions. And South Sudan is contributing 1 battalion. So it's only Tanzania which is for now not contributing any battalion to the East Africa Regional Force.
Are we peacekeepers or are we peace enforcers?
Particularly on DRC, we are restoring peace and we are peace enforcers. We are not peacekeepers. So the East African heads of state met thrice. And in one of its occasions, they admitted DRC Congo to be a member of the East African community. And on the basis of what is going on, particularly in Eastern Congo, Goma area, where we are, in terms of the negative forces and the many gang armed groups and militia. Yeah. There are over 100, in DRC. The East African Community Heads of State Summit passed a resolution. That resolution was again adopted by the African Union Peace and Security Council and further upscaled to the UN Security Council. So we are part of the East Africa Regional Force that is going to restore peace and order. And we have 3 objectives. 1, to restore peace and order. 2, because the East Africa heads of state proposed 2 roadmaps. The diplomatic route, which is being led by diplomatic political route, which is being led by our former president, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and his counterpart, the president of Angola. And secondly, the military route, which the East African Combined Regional Force is going there. So we want to restore peace, to give chance to the dialogue, which is taking place both in Luanda and Nairobi. 2, to open up the humanitarian corridor in that region. And 3, to do what we call disarmament of the various militia groups which are in DRC Congo, more so Eastern Congo.
Yeah. Someone sent me pictures today. They said they've never seen this since the genocide in 1994 in Rwanda.
Yes.
People fleeing, literally.
Yes.
They're fleeing.
Yes. And if you look at all of us, the East African Regional Force, Kenya is the only country which doesn't have a border with the DRC. And there's a feeling in DRC that the citizens view Kenya as a neutral force. So we have gone there. We have just not gone there, woke up one morning and head there. We had to do the political shuttle. We didn't want to get involved in the proxy war in that region between Rwanda, DRC, Uganda, and all that. So our Chief of Defense Forces had a number of consultative meetings. Our president had a number of meetings with other heads of state, both physically and on phone. And in fact, next week I'm heading to Arusha to attend the East African Community Defense Ministers, which is part of the agenda. A secure neighborhood. Congo is an economic partner with Kenya. They use the port of Mombasa. But above all, if Congo is not safe and stable, Kenya will be affected. Same like Somalia, same like Ethiopia. So we have a moral duty to make sure that we make our contribution to what is going on in Ethiopia, in the north of Ethiopia, in Somalia, in DRC Congo, in South Sudan.
One of the biggest fears from critics is it's going to cost us 4.5 billion shillings for the next 6 months.
Yes, for the next 6 months, and 7.2 billion
for the year.
For a whole year. We are not sure whether we'll be there in 6 months. You know, 6 months, even the negative forces can say, let us go down, wait for the 6 months, and when these guys go back, we come back. But the AU Peace and Security Council and the UN have started, and they are supporting the East African Community Regional Force in order to go and mop up both technical and financial assistance. So in another 1 month, both the European Union, the UN, and a lot of bilateral members will contribute. And we expect this force ultimately to be part of the UN force. They're called the MONUSCO in Congo. They have been there for 12 years.
Correct.
Yes. Because our intention is not the taxpayer, the Kenyan taxpayer, to burden this operation.
Yeah. Look, what if we start seeing body bags arriving back home? What if we, worst case scenario, what if it turns ugly?
No, in every confrontation you expect anything. But our forces are trained before they go to any mission. In Congo, like for the Congo DRC case, they were trained in Isiolo for about 5 months, learned the terrain and everything. We have taken all the precautions. Before they went, our special forces were on the ground to receive them. So we are taking all the precautions to make sure that our soldiers are safe. But in a situation like DRC Congo, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Waziri, I want to take another
But you saw for the first time the commander-in-chief praying for our forces.
Yes.
Yes. It has never happened in Kenya.
Never.
So the prayers of the commander-in-chief and all our Kenyans' prayers will make sure that our
troops are safe.
Our troops are safe, and they go and do their moral duty. It's a moral duty to make sure that you have just said, you have seen what's happening in Eastern Congo.
Yes, people fleeing.
Yes. Those fleeing, those displaced, I think our forces have a moral duty to keep them safe, to open the humanitarian corridors, and to make sure that... but we pray that the region becomes safe.
Absolutely. Waziri, I want to take another quick break. I'm going to go back, read a bit of news, business and sports, and then come back and we talk some more. Somalia, we've been there 11 years.
15 years.
15?
Yeah, we have been there 15 years.
Good Lord.
But we are not the only one. There is a notion that we are the only one in Somalia.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kenyan troops in Somalia were under AMISOM, and now they are under ATMIS.
Good.
Yes.
Hold that thought. And also the terror warning the other day, the bounty for those 3 terrorists.
Yes.
Good Lord. 1.2 billion per terrorist?
I'm telling you.
What's happening?
Those guys are very expensive. Me and you, I don't think whether. But it's because of the job we do. We are peacemakers.
We are peacemakers.
Yes. Nobody will put a bounty on our head.
No.
We can walk in the streets.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the small muggers are now no longer in the streets. The DCI is doing a good job.
That's right.
And the police.
Well done.
Yes.
CS Aden Duale there. He's the Defense Secretary, Cabinet Secretary, and he's been in the job, 3 weeks now?
Yes.
3 weeks. Wow. I tell you, it's not going to be easy, but he says he's fitting in. What do you think? We'll talk some more. Plenty more of his story. In the meantime, keep tweeting at Konanga Jeff, at Citizen TV. Can you the hashtag? JK Live. JK Live takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.